What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the What's Happening podcast. I know it's been a while. We didn't post one on Saturday like we were supposed to. Stuff happens. We had work we had to take care of and, family life to do. But I'm welcome back with my co-host, Hayden.
What up?
And we're going to bring you back, hopefully a good show, recap what we missed last week, unfortunately, and give you guys what's going to happen today. It's an exciting day today. We got Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders. Going to be a good fight. You got UFC going on, and it's going to be a great time. So without further ado, I guess first and foremost, hearts and prayers go out to people in Rio de Janeiro and also in Colombia. Their governments are not, treating them the greatest. They're killing people left and right. So our thoughts and prayers go out to them. And we hope it hopefully gets better or someone steps in. And I'm sure, America's waiting just to hop in to get that cash grab for war. But I digress.
Coming out with heaters. But
So-
no, I agree. I mean, we got, that just shows how grateful, obviously it was a crazy year with the election and everything, but how, you could use the word blessed or whatever you want to use there to just what a great country we actually live in, despite its faults. So
absolutely,
it's not so pretty anywhere else, everywhere else, especially, down there in South America, man. You hear all kinds of shit going on in Brazil, Colombia, and Peru, and all that shit.
Yeah, it sucks. Just reminds you that even if the worst of times in America, we still live in a pretty good country. And,
yes, sir.
Speaking of great sporting events, a little segue. Want to talk about how well you did at the Kentucky Derby?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I do appreciate that segue. We had Medina Spirit, three other long shots, but Medina Spirit was the one that cashes. Really like that horse, the Bob Baffert. I was telling people he's kind of like the Bob Baffert's kind of like the Belichick, the Patriots, of the 2000s, man. You can't bet against them. They just win it. And that horse was coming on strong. I don't think it's going to win the Triple Crown, but from start to finish, just took the lead. I knew the horse would take the lead. I think if there was a little longer distance there, the furlong, he would have probably lost, but perfect. It was a perfect run in my opinion. I think he ran very well and essential quality. I thought it was overrated. I mean, it deserved to be the favorite. Strong horse, but just it slowed down. I mean, it won all five of its races, but just slowed down there. As times were getting worse and worse, and Medina Spirits was getting better and better. I know it wasn't Bob Baffert's main horse there, but we cashed a nice 12-1 doggy there and came out with 9 units.
Awesome.
So that was
when's
good.
When's the next horse race? Is it like every couple months or?
15th, it would be the Preakness, not next weekend.
Where's that at?
Ooh, is that in New York? It's gotta be New York, right? Preakness. No, Maryland, my bad. New York is Belmont. Okay. My bad. The third leg of Triple Crown. So yeah, you got the Preakness coming up. So I haven't done any research on that yet, but I obviously will. I love the horses. Spend tons of time on those. But
I know nothing about horses. So if I'm going to ask you a question about ignorance, don't laugh. But what's the longest horse race? Is it like 2 laps around the thing? Do they only do like 1 lap? Or is it like half a thing? What's the longest one?
I'm not your biggest expert, but it would be, I don't know if they never go 2 miles. I know what the carriage is, they go longer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about with the wheels, the carriages, and which they're not called that. I can't remember what they're called, but it would be, I think it's almost like the long ones. If I remember, because I don't do the horses as much as I used to, but it would be like 1 lap and pretty much like 3/4 of a lap, maybe 2, but usually it's pretty much around that distance. It just depends. Nothing crazy. I mean, 2-3 minute runs, 1.25 miles.
Do the dogs normally go longer than the horses do?
No, they're just a lap around, which they're trying to get I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be legal. I don't know if it's next year or this year, but down in Florida, which it's just going to kill it. I mean, that was the only place it was happening. You
Mm-hmm.
know, a couple years ago, they nailed him for giving the dogs cocaine and things like that. You know, they abused those dogs. I mean, there was a lot of bad reports. So Florida, where's the main hub, pretty much one of the only last places where it really happens is, I think they made it illegal, so it's going to be shutting down. And I went to one. There
Mm-hmm.
wasn't many people there. I mean, it's definitely dying down. It's going to be gone probably here soon, if it isn't already. Honestly,
Gotcha.
it's cool to watch though. I mean, it's unfortunate that they do that. I feel like the dogs want to run anyway. You know, they chase a rabbit. I think they would do that. I think they love doing it. I just, you know, you get these people in here that it's not like that with horses. Like people rip horse racing and say it's abuse. Yeah, they had an issue at Santa Anita, but I mean, these horses are taken care of, dog. They're paying millions of dollars to these fucking things. Like, you can't sit here and tell me a horse isn't meant to be rode and ran around. I mean, that's what it does. Like, what? People own fucking dogs. What the fuck's the difference? You put them in a little area and that's okay. You can put them in a cage, but you can't ride a horse. I don't get it. You know, that some of the things they do with the horses, obviously, you know, steroids, shit like that. I mean, that's unacceptable. But you know, Santa Anita is definitely cleaned up after its whole fucking having, Jesus Christ, 20 some horses die. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like every week, you know, but it is what it is.
Very true, my friend. But again, congratulations on all your winnings on Kentucky Derby. And
Yeah,
I think after the Kentucky Derby, we have to talk about the Reyes versus Prochazka. Is that what it is?
Prochazka or whatever. The Czech Republican. Yuri. We'll just call him Yuri. It's easier that way. Nice to see a Slav get a KO there. That beautiful spinning elbow, dude. That was fucking nasty.
Oh, it was great.
Put that in.
Perfect.
I think we had 3 units on him, 2 on the KO. That cashed. Dude's crazy, man. I mean, he's entertaining. He's fun. He fucking cracks like a motherfucker, dude. He's just he's a beast. That light heavyweight division's got to watch out, man. He's a killer. He's been around for a while, and he just proves that, you know, you don't got to be in the UFC to be a top guy. I mean, he's been around for a while and in other organizations, and just, you know, is it Nemkov is the Bellator champion? He knocked him out. He's finished former UFC guys in other leagues, guys that have gone into the UFC. I mean, he's just a killer. And Reyes is no joke, man. I mean, a lot of people liked Reyes. You know, it was a close pick fight. But Yuri, man, I mean, he'll get rocked. He got rocked against Uzdemir. He just takes it on the chin, dude. I mean, it's
the power of the hair.
It's the Slavs. They build them different, dude. They're built different. I swear, if you look at them, dog, and I can add to this my own personal experience. I don't know what it is, but there's something fun about getting hit in the face, dude. And he's one of those people. Like you can tell, hands down. You don't give a fuck. You want to get hit, man. It just makes you crack the other guy harder. And he did it, man. He freaking beat the hell out of the dude. Reyes can take a fucking punch, though, man. I mean, holy hell, you got to give that guy a lot of credit.
Yeah, he took a beating. Like it was
took a beating, man. And he rocked Yuri. Yuri was down for, like, he went down and was able to, you know, clear the cobwebs and come back. But I mean, Yuri's always in that position. I don't, you know, I don't know who else. Maybe John Jones. I mean, you saw John Jones do that to DC. Nobody else has really done that. I know Stipe did, but that's a heavyweight, and that's, you know, fucking 43-year-old Cormier. But it's almost like the same thing. I mean, you know, everybody's time comes, but Yuri's doesn't look like it's coming anytime soon. So we'll see. You know, once Jan, you know, they just announced Jan and
Teixeira,
yeah, Clever Teixeira. I kept wanting to say Dos Santos, but Teixeira, who's that guy? I mean, what, are they both 40? They have to be. I know Jan. There. It's like, it's insane that light heavyweights division's a little thin, but I guess John Jones is scared of them all.
Unbelievable. Yeah, the GOAT, scared of them all.
Yeah, right. Scared of Nagano. Give me a break.
So were you seen for that Hulk fight on that same card? Were you expecting a draw, or were you blown away by the decision?
I wasn't blown away at all. I know we had the collab with Bungle Bangers. Follow him on Twitter. Quick shout out. really good capper. You know, he does all the other sports. I mean, it's fucking KBO at 3 a.m. He's got you. If you're up at 3 a.m, he's got you.
It's only $5.
Table tennis, yeah, $5 for his picks. It's worth it, dude. I mean, the dude cashes all the time. But we did the collab. He really liked that one. I only had 1 unit on it. I was not surprised. That's why I had the KO, because I knew he gasses, man. I mean, he's just his gas tank's not the best. I was happy with the draw, the 10-8 rounds. You know, it gets weird in the UFC or MMA when the 10-8 thing, because it's just different, man. It's a different sport compared to boxing. In boxing, it's very clear if you get knocked down, it's 10-8 round. Knockdown again, 10-7. I mean, a knockdown is a knockdown. It's boxing. Whereas in the UFC, MMA, I mean, you know, people, it's different, man. I mean, if you're sitting there dominating a guy who's already down, what do you give him there? I mean, is it not a 10-8? It's real weird. And then it's different by state. I know most states are up to date now. I mean, Nevada, where they have the most fights, was behind, you know, Nevada's just getting behind in everything as far as fighting, gambling, et cetera, et cetera. But you know, I was okay with the draw. You know, a dominant first round and then lost the second. You know, the second and third. So
do they run it back, or they go different opponents?
Nah, you're gonna get different opponents. It's not boxing. There's no rematches really. You know, maybe down the road, but you know, the Cutelaba, if you've seen him, you know, the way he grabbed him at the weigh-ins, which they're supposedly the UFC is going to cut that shit out. You know, you had that one fight fall out a couple weeks ago.
They're gonna be like boxing and put the glass in the middle to keep them separated.
That's just a COVID thing, man. That's not.
Oh, but they might just do that. For what are they gonna do? Is have them stand 6 feet away and do a stare down?
No. You're gonna get suspended
If you touch them.
Yeah, it's just gonna get cut down.
Okay.
And I assume, you know, if they fucking face to face and touch noses, I'm sure it's okay. You just can't be grabbing and pushing people, man. I mean, guys are cutting weight. If you saw the weigh-in with that, I think it's Boychech or whatever, the weigh-in yesterday, man, that guy that couldn't even get on the scale by himself, which is unbelievable. Scary. Unbelievable. The UFC, dude. I mean, this is twice. You had the chick that fell over a couple weeks ago. What are we doing here? I mean,
if I was the UFC, in all honesty, I would have a guy standing in front of the door where they're coming to enter in to go on the weight on the scale. And if that guy can't walk to me on his own free will, he's not entering the room. I'm just sending him away saying, no, you can't fight.
Yeah.
I won't even give him the opportunity to walk to the weight, because even if he does and he makes the weight, everyone has seen how bad or how roughed up this guy is, and there's no way in hell he's fighting tomorrow. So I would keep that behind closed doors and just announce, hey, he's unable to make it to the scale. He can't fight tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a bad look, I think, for the UFC. You know, I agree. There should be a doctor that just, I mean, it's pretty obvious this guy, you know, is struggling. And then, you know, you hear John Anik say his weight and he misses it by 3 pounds. And it's like, why even fucking bother, man? Like you know, California, again, Nevada's behind. California does it the right way. I like how they have the weigh-ins. You got to check in I think it starts at 30 days and then every week, I believe. And then fight week, you're just constantly checking in. I don't know if the UFC follows that. I think it's more of a boxing thing right now. But that's the way it should be, especially when you have the UFC. I like that there's not a lot of weight classes. It makes the belts more important. But I mean, in the end, who gives a shit? If you're making the good fights, put more weight divisions on there, I guess. But you know, if not, you gotta watch these fighters, because you're literally killing them, and it's just a bad look.
Yeah, I think every week now there's been a passed out fighter or struggling fighter to get to the scale.
Yeah, usually you have one person, at least one, that misses weight and doesn't make it. To have I mean, I haven't seen many videos of people. You know, the girl that fell down a couple of weeks ago, and then this guy. You know, he didn't fall down, but I mean, he couldn't even get off the scale by himself, down the stairs by himself. He couldn't do any of that. And you know, usually they don't let you get to the scale by that point, but obviously you saw it yesterday, so who knows?
Pretty bad situation.
Yeah, not good at all. So yeah, that was that.
So I guess we'll go into Bellator. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Our big boy Rumble Johnson came back.
Oh yeah, getting freaking clocked. I thought he was done. Didn't have a play on that. I was gonna maybe play the underdog, but I didn't. I liked Yoel Romero big time. If Yoel Romero, I hate to say what ifs, especially when it comes to making picks. I mean, we could all just sit here and say what if, what if, what if, especially considering Yoel Romero was sick. Who knows? Anthony Johnson could have had problems too. So, but I mean, he got cracked. I don't think you survive Yoel Romero getting cracked. I really liked Yoel Romero there, 20 units at Pick'em. I mean, that was, I thought there was so much value there. I just think Anthony Johnson's been on the bench a little too long, and you saw that last night. That's just how, there's a difference. You look at guys like the Ben Askren, Jake Paul. I think it's almost like that a little, obviously Anthony Johnson came in better shape, but there's just guys that when they retire or stop and they go and pursue other things, you can just tell that they're just coming back for a paycheck almost, I feel like. And I feel like that's what Anthony Johnson's doing here. So I don't know who he fights next.
Because it's tournament style, right? Because it's Bellator.
Yeah. I actually don't know. I didn't look it up. Did you see that one dude's nose?
Oh, yeah, the one that dented in.
Freaking
with a leg kick or whatever. Was it a leg kick?
Yeah, it was that. Yeah, high kick to the head.
Is it like what? His nose is like down, caved in, and then his little tip of his nose poking out, and it's like
broke his nose. Dude didn't even hesitate. Dude's a freaking tough mother effer, but he definitely broke his nose. Yeah, they stopped the fight, but MVP, he helped cash our parlay there. We did real good. 7.77 units. Had two big dogs. The half a unit on our boy. What's his name? Soto. And then my best play. You could say I got lucky, but the two, that's PFL. Did well on PFL too, man. Cashed on that. The only thing that missed was the parlay. We hit a dog into two nice plays there. If I can bring it up, what's his name? Quayle. Still don't have it brought up. Quayle, man, he was losing that fight, but he cracked dude's skull open, Pitbull's skull, and they had to stop the fight, man. And I saw that gash, dude. He had a huge ass gash here, just wouldn't stop. And Quayle was freaking. He trains with McGregor over in Ireland, and the dude's tough as nails. I mean, one of the biggest comebacks his last fight. I really liked him here, and he got the job done. It happens, man. I mean, we got lucky with TJ Brown last week on that UFC card. I definitely thought Kamaka the third won. A lot of people did, but am I going to sit here and say that, I hit a nice hit? I mean, it happens, man. I mean, how many split decisions have I lost? Shit happens. Carvalho, the fight we were watching, dude. I mean, split decision. You lose some, you win some. It's just how it goes. So
flip of a coin.
Did real nice. Sergio Pettis got the job done. Won the championship off of Juan Archuleta. That was another dog that hit. We had a couple dogs hit, had the parlay hit, even the 3-legger. No problem. MVP capping that off. So that was good. And yeah, it was a good couple weeks. Hit PFL, and you go back to right after the draft. I had that boxing play. Edwards broke that fight down. Did exactly what we said. 3 units, outboxed him, and another dog to cash. So hopefully we just keep on cashing here, man. I mean, we're on a roll.
Yes, we are. And speaking on rolls, we want to talk about the UFC tonight or the boxing first?
We can do UFC. UFC will be starting before that. I'm not done with that card. I am done with the prelims. We could definitely go into it because I think all my bigger plays are going to be the prelims anyway. But the first fight, man, 5-unit play. I got Carlston Harris. You heard it here first. I haven't released any plays, but at King and Don Picks, you got Carlston Harris versus Christian Aguilera. I like Carlston Harris minus 165 units. I think he's a well-rounded, better fighter. You watch the tape. I just think he's better. He's better. He's more well-rounded. Christian Aguilera, he can crack. He's a stand-up guy, but his takedown defense, I just question too much. I think Harris just grinds him out and gets the job done here.
Plus, with the 4-inch reach advantage, that's going to help a lot.
Yeah, I think you just get, just Aguilera's takedown defense, man. I just don't think it's gonna hold up. If Harris can survive the first round in an onslaught, which I expect Aguilera to come out hot, if he gets him down and holds him down, I think it's done there. So I really like that one.
I agree.
And then, another one, man. I mean, 4 units in the next fight. I like Young Park. You're gonna think, what the hell's he thinking? Once you see, I'm gonna fuck this name up. Tafon Nuashiki. Dude is jacked. But he's raw. He doesn't. I think he has 6 fights. I don't know if you have it brought up. I don't have it brought up right now.
I have it brought up, but
5 fights. Dude,
hold on. How are they fighting right now?
What do you mean?
That's my Google thing's messed up. It shows Park Young is 185 pounds and Tafon is 205.
Oh, so I mean, they fought at middleweight. They're fighting at middleweight. Excuse me. Okay. Tafon would have been. I think he moved down to middleweight in his last fight, I believe. But he's fought at light heavyweight. And Park, I believe, has always been a middleweight, if I am not mistaken. I know he lost to Anthony Hernandez at middleweight. I'm pretty sure he's been a middleweight his whole career. But yeah, you're gonna see Tafon. I mean, that's what I'm saying, dog. He's jacked at light heavyweight. He's even more. He's gonna look way bigger. You're gonna think I'm nuts, but he knocked out William Knight. That's a good win. That was at a catch weight at 225, dude. I mean, he goes all the way up there and destroys William Knight. But these are all first, second round finishes. I know he won a decision against Jamie Pickett in his last fight, but Jamie Pickett, man, going into that fight, I like Jamie Pickett as a live dog. I might have had him. I can't remember. I've done nothing crazy, obviously, but they clashed. Jamie Pickett was coming on in the second round as Tafon, as he does, gases. I mean, he's just so raw. The gas tank's not there. You got to give him a couple years. I think this is going to be one of those spots where he loses to a veteran in Young Park, a technical striker. He has power. He's well-rounded. Watch the uppercut, man. I think he could get it done later. As that gas tank goes down, you're more susceptible to get it knocked out. But, the one thing you'll see from the Tafon is every time he exits, he's going to throw a leg kick, a high kick, as long as Park gets out of the way, which he does a good job. He has good foot movement. He's going to come in, Tafon comes in, hits you, and then moves back and then throws this leg kick every fucking time, dude. He's just so raw. And I like the value, especially at Park at plus 115. I almost want to go big, but Tafon could end the fight at any moment. I just don't think he does it here, and I think Park grinds him out.
And that weight cut affects him?
Yeah, it'll definitely affect him, man. I mean, the dude's jacked. I mean, he probably walks around like 240, 250 if he probably stopped fighting. I'm sure he goes a little less because he is. You got to stay at a certain weight and then the cut weight, but dude's huge, man. I'm telling you, when you see him, you're just gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Like this guy, I knock the shit out of this dude, but I just don't think that happens.
David versus Goliath situation.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he's shorter, so that's another thing. He's gonna because what is the height on these guys?
It says Tafon's bigger.
Oh, he is taller?
It says he's 6 foot and Park is 5'8".
Oh yeah, he's gonna look a lot bigger. No, 5. Well, see, I got 5'10". I think Park's bigger, and
Tafon's got a 4-inch reach advantage.
Tafon, they're probably the same height, dude. These fucking dudes, it's just like the NBA. They lie about their height. I would never lie about my height on a dating site ever. I don't get why do it.
You have too much integrity too.
Exactly.
Anyway, so we got next fight: Klein versus Trezano.
Oh, my boy Klein, another Slovakian. Man, this is a tough one. It's at 2. I haven't put this in anything. I'm gonna obviously put him in a parlay. I'm thinking Rebus. I like Klein here, but Michael Trezano, he's such a well-rounded fighter. He was on the Ultimate Fighter. He did well. Ended up winning his fight, winning it. And but Klein can crack, man. I mean, I feel like he's another guy that's a little raw, but just has the power. He just has the Slovakian power. I think he gets it done, but it'll be interesting to see as this fight goes on how Klein looks against a guy like Trezano. And Trezano's got a gas tank. He's got a nice left jab. I do question his defense. I think Klein, if things get desperate, can rely on his wrestling. I think that's why he's a big favorite, because the stand-up he's got to beat. If he doesn't knock him out quick, it'll just be interesting to see if Trezano can handle the wrestling of Klein there. So wait and May. I don't have an official play on that yet. Like I said, I'm leaning a parlay with Reyes. Nothing crazy, but yeah, I definitely like Klein there.
Gotcha. Sounds good. So then the last of the prelims would be Haas versus Dawkins.
This is a tough one. I got Haas. What's he up now? He's a plus 105 now, maybe plus 110 some places. I got him at 105, 3 units. This guy coming in, one of the top prospects, kind of, I think he got knocked out on Dana White's Contender Series, right? He lost to another good guy in, let me see, it slipped in my brain. But he's good. He's well-rounded. I think he's proved that his gas tank. It's another guy who's jacked, dude. This guy's going to look ripped. First team all body. Oh, Julian Marquez, the dude that asked out Miley Cyrus.
Yikes.
You remember the Cuban Missile Crisis. He knocked out Philip Haas, and Julian Marquez, that doesn't look like such a bad loss now. So, but Philip Haas looked really good against Nazardine Imavov. I know he got tagged wobbly on his feet. If you watch that fight, dog, it looked looked a little sketchy there. It was a majority decision for Haas. I think rightfully so. I think Haas kept the pressure on him. Got the good strikes in. I know Haas was rough, but I mean, he never went down. He's just wobbling on his feet, kept going, kept leaning on him, kept getting him against the cage. And I think just overall won a very close fight. And then you have Kyle Dawkins, who other people are high on. I don't know if this is a trap. I don't know what I'm missing. I want to go big on Haas, but I'm a little worried. Kyle Dawkins just doesn't impress me, man. He's tall as hell. He's big. He's well-rounded. He's got a lot of submission wins, but against who? I mean, he lost against Brendan Allen, and he didn't look that good against Dustin Stoltzfus. I'm just not impressed watching him, not at all. And Philip Haas, I think, is coming on. I think you have a guy who's a little overrated and a guy that's finally coming in. I mean, Philip Haas was supposed to be the next John Jones, so kind of reminds me of Jose. It's a soccer player. Jesus, I think I know, right? What's his name? The dude that played for the Union. Altidore, right? He was supposed to be the next big thing in soccer. Didn't turn out. We got Christian Pulisic, though. IC last name, another Slovakian descent, I'm sure, coming out of Hershey, Pennsylvania. Let's give a shout out there. Western Pennsylvania. Playing for Chelsea. But, I just think.
Jose Andres Martinez?
No. Some Altidore. Josie Altidore? How do I not know this dude?
Jose Altidore?
It's not. It can't be Jose Altidore. Altidore soccer. Yeah, Josie Altidore. Am I nuts or am I right? Yeah. 31 now, but coming in, man. Who's he even play for? Toronto. He is supposed to be the next big thing, dude. Coming up.
Yeah, he plays for Toronto FC since 2015.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, like at the age of 16, he was on the New York Red Bulls. Like he was signed. He was supposed to be the next big thing, dude. Big deal. But good soccer player, just overhyped. Kind of like Philip Haas, but a little different in fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to freaking judge a 16-year-old kid in soccer. So, I think Philip Haas gets the job done. Wouldn't be surprised if by knockout. I might end up taking that prop. Actually, I don't have it in yet, but we might do that. And yeah, I like that one.
Good stuff. And then start on the main card. We got Rebus versus Angela Hill.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm a little hesitant to put it. I'm hesitant with Klein, and I'm hesitant with Rebus in a parlay. We had Rodriguez. Unfortunately, I personally had her with a knockout at +5, or no, to go to a decision at +500. She was a +350 dog. We hit that on that McGregor card with Poirier. That was a good card. The Michael Chandler knockout really helped us. And if you just took Rodriguez straight up, like I said, +350 against Rivas, I like when Rodriguez is fighting on the main event against Michelle Waterson on this card. So don't have a play there. But anyway. Play there yet, sorry. But Rebus, it's gonna sound terrible, especially with Mother's Day coming up. I just can't stand the way she looks. I hate that smile. Everybody loves that smile. I can't stand it. It bothers the fuck out of me. Like, I don't know what's so cute and funny. Like, I don't know. I don't care. I like, I personally like Angela Hill better as a fighter. She's been around a while. Just gets these split decision losses. Last one against she fought, what's her name, Yoder. I had Yoder in the last fight, but that was Angela Hill. Definitely, I don't know if Yoder's just not who she used to be, or Angela Hill's really stepped up her game. I mean, she's always had good striking, but she beat the hell out of her. Will she do that to Rebus? That's what I mean. My heart says go with Angela Hill, but Rebus is a young prospect, a lot of hype around her, whether you like to smile or not.
Up-and-comer.
She's definitely an up-and-comer, and she can fight, man. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I want to pass. I want to just not take it at all, but I'm trying to find some angle. I can't even pick on the over-under. I could see Rebus, Hill's been submitted twice. It could happen here. Rebus has been knocked out. Angela Hill doesn't really get too many knockouts, but how many knockouts she got? She's got a few. But it's a tough, the over under. I mean, it's over 2.5 minus 200. So like, where's the value there? You're not really getting any value. So how many knockouts we got? Couple? 5 knockouts, more than I thought. But Aleda Gray, who? Stephanie Ignick, who? Like, I mean, she's knocking out nobodies. When's the last time she got a knockout? Ariana Pelosi with cuts, but I mean, we had
defeat against a good opponent was the main card, Michelle Waters, the main event.
Yeah, she lost that, but I'm talking just knockouts. She knocked out Hannah Cipher, but I mean, again, is she UFC caliber? No. But yeah, that was a good fight with Waterson. I thought Angela Hill won. We were on Angela Hill. It could have gone either way. I'm not going to sit here and cry like all these other cappers. No, I mean, it was a close fight. So, same thing with Gadelia, another close decision. I mean, she just keeps getting these split decisions and decision losses, and she never really gets on the right side of a decision. So I just don't really have an angle yet.
Okay.
If I have one at all, who knows?
And we got Ferreira versus Gillespie.
Yes, I like Ferreira here. +145. I'm actually still working out how many units I want to play on that. This is kind of where I'm at right now as far as picking fights. I like Ferreira. He's a submission guy. He'll chase the sub, which I think you're okay here with Gillespie. He has good cardio. I think he'll empty the gas tank, but he takes smart breaks. Like, he knows when to take breaks. He knows when, he's got a good IQ as a fighter. He's, just jiu-jitsu is outstanding. He's a tough guy. He fucked up his leg against, messed up his leg 2 fights ago. Not Dariush, but the fight before that. Oh, Anthony Pettis. Messed up his leg, still tapped him out. And this dude's tough, man. I mean, he just had, he submitted him just with his jaw. He wasn't even under the neck, just freaking made him tap by squeezing his jaw. So he's a tough dude. And you had Gregor Gillespie who fought Kevin Lee. If you remember, there was a nice high kick knockout by Kevin Lee, just freaking knocked him out cold.
Yep.
So it's hard to go off that. And then he out wrestled Who was the fight before that? Out wrestled that guy. But I wasn't impressed. I mean, Yarius Mendoza or whatever. Mendoza. I don't have it in front of me, but that guy, the Hawaiian guy.
Mhm.
So he's got a good jab. He just doesn't really impress. I mean, he's got the power. He can really come on. Ferreira's 36, so his time's coming. Do I think it's now? No. But am I going to go big on Ferreira? No. I don't think Gillespie's going to go to his ground game. You would say technically it's a better striker, but I think Ferreira has underrated striking, so it might come down to a close decision. So we're just going to go one unit there, and then but I'll be posting all these picks, King of Don picks. I still have to do the rest of the card on that, and but that's what we got so far. So those early ones, you want to get those early ones on. I know the card starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. So the first play is probably going to be our best play on UFC today.
Awesome. Moving up the list, we got Green versus De Lima.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't really looked too much into the other fights.
Okay.
I know Green, I can go a little bit into it. I mean, this is the big boys. Might as well get it in here. Heavyweights. Maurice Green, the one of the best nicknames in the game, the Crochet Boss. If you watch The Ultimate Fighter, yeah, kind of a fun guy. He's got a good ground game. He's a sub guy. I thought he fought Greg Hardy. That was a little bit of an early stoppage there.
Mm-hmm.
I know we mentioned that before, but I think if I had to lean, and it's not a big lean, because you look at Marcus De Lima, man, the guy is just susceptible to subs, man. I think he's been subbed 3, 4, 5 times, maybe 5 times. But he's got power, man. He's got power in his hands. I mean, he rocks Stefan Struve, but he slows down in fights. So I think Maurice Green's got a good tank. Marcus De Lima, not so much. Just thinking off the top of my head, you want to lean Maurice Green, especially at plus 150.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're maybe getting a little value there. Maybe Maurice Green by sub. That's got to be plus a couple hundred. And then Marcus De Lima by knockout, probably not going to be that big. But you're getting plus money there. But Maurice Green could just finish him late too, or grind him out the decision. So you might. I think the value might be Maurice Green. Still got to look into that one. Like I said, I just, I'm working on it. It's just, I haven't even, I haven't really touched boxing except for obviously our, big play coming up, little teaser.
Okay, so make sure to follow King of Don picks to get the rest of the 3 remaining, because we still got to work it, get in the factory, keep it going. So moving on from UFC, we got the big one, the big fishes. We
got
100-unit banger versus Billy Joe Saunders.
Yes, sir. I don't know if you consider this Cinco de Mayo weekend with it falling on a Wednesday, or if it was last week with the Andy Ruiz. No, we didn't even recap that, though. We cashed on all our boxing picks last week, no? That was a pay-per-view that should not have been a pay-per-view. I think you got your value if you watched the crowd.
More better action in the crowd than the ring.
Unbelievable, dude. I don't.
It's funny. There was a brawl yesterday at the Angels and Dodgers game.
Yeah.
In fucking Anaheim, they're just duking it out in the stand.
California, man, just going nuts over there. I don't know what's going on. I'm sure it's tough considering it costs $300 million to live there, but yeah, it's just wild. But we did good. Ruiz Areola, his name is Areola, over 6.5 plus 105 that cashed. We had that parlayed with Joseph Parker, who we saw earlier in the morning against Derek Trosa. All you boxing is dead people, if you've never watched Derek Trosa fight, then I will kindly tell you to shut the fuck up, because you know nothing. Because if you never watch that guy fight, they're always good fights. It's been around for a while. Always loses a split decision. He fucking knocked Parker down in 10 seconds. So you're like panicking if you have Parker. It's just Trosa controlled it early. Parker came on late. I actually, unfortunately, I didn't watch the fight in its entirety. So I don't really have too much of an opinion on it. Either way, we hit it at -185 again, parlayed with Ruiz Jr. Areola 2 units to win 4, and then we had the Bivol Richards over 7.5. Both of those went to decision.
Mm-hmm.
So the overs, that was 2 units on Bivol Richards. Richards is a good boxer. I really liked him to survive Bivol. Bivol just great fighter. Just I don't know. He just doesn't have that second gear to get guys out of there as much as I think he should. So I really like that one. 2 units down there to -145. So that was good. As far as a Cinco de Mayo recap, which again, whatever weekend you want to consider it, because you got another one coming up. Yes, the Canelo Saunders fight, man. It's gonna be.
I'll ask you one more question about Ruiz.
Yes.
With his victory, is he back in the conversation, or he has to do one more good fight to get back in that conversation?
It's either him or Chirosa are gonna get knocked the fuck out by Water, and I hope they make that fight. I know you're dealing with Eddie Hearn, and I honestly don't even know who Ruiz is signed with. Fox, would it be Golden Boy? Is he Golden Boy? He's got to be Golden Boy. Maybe. I mean, he only works with Canelo, but he's not with Golden Boy anymore. So I mean, Ruiz might be with him.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, at heavyweight, I feel like they guys like that. You have Deontay Wilder over there on Fox, so that they should make that fight. Ruiz got knocked down. I mean, it looked a little risky there at the beginning. Got knocked down by Areola, and I don't know. Areola didn't fight the smartest fight. I thought he could have got him out there. That was definitely sweating, as they say, for that to go over, because then Ruiz came on freaking strong. Areola threw out his shoulder later in the fight.
Yeah.
But Ruiz, he looked quicker. Obviously, he lost all that weight. I just, he's a good boxer, man. I just don't think his discipline in his chin. I think that I don't know if he'll get a tune-up fight next, or they'll just throw him in against Wilder, which I think they should do. I think they should make that fight. I think it's good for Wilder. I think it's good for Ruiz.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's heavyweights. Anything can happen, but I think that's the fight to make right there. You either have that or Chirosa. But Chirosa, I mean, there's a reason he put war on his hat. He's just in another war. I don't know if I would like to see that though. Either or I don't really want to see Parker versus Parker's the boringest fucking fighter in the world. But so maybe you would want to make that Wilder. I don't know if he's just going to try to clinch him the whole time. I don't know. I just want to see Wilder back in there against any of these guys. I just want to see where Wilder is. It would give one of those 3 guys the step up if they end up beating Wilder. But I would definitely probably find the value on Wilder. I don't think he's done.
He hasn't fought in over a year now, right?
Yeah, he hasn't fought since getting knocked out. I mean, I don't even think he was training. I don't know what he was doing, dude. I mean, I've never seen a guy just go from at the top to just fucking. I don't even know what happened.
He fired his trainer right away, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy around that, but I think I saw an interview, man, and he said a couple of years ago, before that, I believe. Don't quote me on any of this, but I'm pretty sure he said if you ever throw in the towel. I mean, I get it; it's the trainer's job, and what are you gonna do? You're gonna let the guy die in there? I mean, that's kind of you never know. You getting hit in the head,
have a rocky situation.
Yeah, right. But I mean, people switch trainers. I mean, I thought he was. I mean, dude, his boxing fucking sucks. So how good was the trainer? I know he's had his back. I know he's got him where he's got him, but maybe it was a time to move on. I mean, it happens to guys, man. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, who are we to say, it's easy to sit here and criticize the guy, but I mean, he's fucking started boxing at what, 22? It's not, MMA, you got to start early too, but who does that? He just fucking starts.
He was just a football player, basketball player.
Was he either of those? I don't even know if he was either of those. He might have played football, but I don't think he
was a football player, wasn't working out, but he could hit hard. So he tried boxing and he just started knocking people out.
But he wasn't a good football player. He's from Alabama, but he didn't play for Alabama.
I mean, what would he be? He would just be I mean, what position? He's tall and lengthy. Like, I don't know, tight end.
Dude, college, man, he could be anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's especially when you're lower level college. I mean, Jesus, he could play like 4 positions. You know, punter. You know, just like it is in high school at that point. Just being that big, you could play anything. But just he's just so raw. You know, I don't know who he got as his new trainer. I knew they posted a picture. I didn't really look too much into it, other than Twitter making fun of his legs.
Yeah.
A lot of boxers have skinny legs. I mean, how do you put on all that muscle up top? I mean, I think you should. I think legs are very important. I think they can make fighters, but they can also break fighters if you have too much weight in your legs. I mean, you do got to make a weight class. If you have too
tire
much
out easier.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. You tend to stay more steady. You hold up more. I feel like you tire out less. You just don't have the power in your arms, hands, shoulders. You know, I feel like that's where you're getting all your weight. I mean, a heavyweight, you know, maybe he is skipping a couple leg days there, but
yeah.
I mean, he's a tall, lanky guy anyway. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It does look a little funny. Obviously, Twitter blowing up the picture's funny, but it'll be interesting to see. I just want to see him back in the ring, and I want to see him against one of those 3 guys for sure.
Of course. Hope so. I mean, he was an exciting fighter, fun to watch him fight. I mean, when he was fighting Fury, I thought that was great fights to watch, the first one and the second one. You know, the second one didn't really go his way, but who knows if we'll get a trilogy. I don't think so. I think probably after Tyson's next fight, I don't know if he'll fight again or he'll just hang it up. I don't know.
Tyson Fury's not going to hang it up there. Who told you this?
Isn't he getting up there in age?
I don't think so. He's got. I mean, you got a couple more years at least. He's probably gonna have a tune-up fight. Him and Joshua have tune-up fights, and then hopefully they make a deal by then. We get that fight. I really like. It's actually I have the Minnesota Wild as one of my future plays to win the Stanley Cup, but my only other future play that I like is Joshua in that fight. I think Joshua's a better boxer than Fury, and I don't think Fury has the power to get him out there. I'm looking around 40 units, hopefully around plus 140, 150 is last I saw it. So I really like Joshua there. I think Tyson Fury, you know, I feel like he had his issues a couple years ago, and I'm just watching him now, man. I feel like he's getting full of himself. I feel like he's not as focused, and I feel like Joshua was going to want him more. I feel like you go back before Joshua got knocked out by Ruiz. I think Ruiz was just considered some fat boy that knocked him out and got lucky. And people don't realize how good of a boxer Ruiz is. And I think that just put a bad name on Joshua. And I think Joshua's going to be more hungrier and come back if they make that fight. So it's boxing. You're eventually going to get it. I mean, I think the longer the time goes, like you said, Fury's getting up there in age, the better it is for Joshua. So we're going to be looking to hammer that one when it finally happens. If it happens, of course. It should, but, you know, it'd be like Mayweather and Pacquiao. They go out there on walkers. Shout out to the grandmas. But
got your hat.
It's stupid, dude. I don't even want. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, let's get into that Canelo.
The big one again. The unofficial, official Cinco de Mayo fight, man. Alvarez. First, Billy Joe Saunders. I just don't think people know who Billy Joe Saunders is. Let me break it down, man. An elusive southpaw. He's got slick boxing, quick movement. Watch the David Lemieux fight. People criticize him. I feel like he doesn't get guys out of there. I feel like he gets hit, but I feel like Billy Joe Saunders is one of those guys, and I can attest this from personal experience that when you play down to your competition sometimes. I think there's just guys out there that I know when I play sports that just like if you know you're going to dominate, you just play down to your competition. And he got caught once, got a little wobbly, but he held on. He's smart. He's got a very good boxing IQ, And so you could criticize him on the film, but when it was time to step up, I had David Lemieux. I had him big. I believe I had 300 units at the time, as they say, or not 300. Yeah, 300 units. For $300. I don't know how we're doing units. I didn't used to do units. Now I'm breaking stuff in dollars. But I have big money on Lemieux, and Lemieux just got teed up. I mean, Billy Saunders is no joke. So I just think people were going off with Alvarez stepping up in weight class. He knocked out a drunk Kovalev that was a little jab at Kovalev, no disrespect, but Kovalev was beating him that whole fucking fight. And then just, I don't know, dude. I mean, the guy's had issues outside the ring. He's getting up there in age. And, if we're being honest, dude, Alvarez is on steroids. So that could hurt here. We have the 12-round decision to go to a decision. I have this bad image in my head that there's going to be a clash of heads and it just goes to decision anyway. And I can get fucked. But as long as I think Billy Joe Saunders, I think he can beat him. They picked the judges for this fight, All-American, of course, so Canelo can't lose because Billy Joe Saunders isn't going to knock him out. He's not a knockout guy. He outboxes guys. So I think that's a good strategy by them. I think they're scared. I think the Canelo crew is a little scared of Billy Joe Saunders. We'll see. We'll see if the Mexican meat comes through and he gets the knockout. I mean, he's been on fire lately. He's getting more active. He just fought a couple weeks ago. He beat that Jesus. I mean, I hate to call a guy that steps up in a ring and can beat the hell out of me, but I mean, come on, man. Yildirim took the easy way out, dude. Unbelievable. I had the over in that fight, and he just kind of pussied out. So, that was a joke. That was a joke. He had that. So, again, the Kolev, who knows what state he was in. Canelo had Callum Smith, who was just a human punching a freaking 7-foot giant punching bag.
Yeah.
Couldn't get him out of there with the body shots. You could say Canelo has pillow hands. No, I'm just kidding. I'm ripping Canelo, even though he is probably probably the best boxer in boxing right now. But I just think Billy Joe Saunders is the style matchup. Canelo's been fighting these heavy-handed guys. You had Triple G, which I think he lost the first one. I think he won the second one, but people even say that Triple G won the second one, and I have big money on both, on Triple G, and I just think Billy Joe Saunders can be too fast. You look at, he had a hard time with other southpaws, like Laura. That was a split decision. That was a close fight. Another quick fighter. And then you have Trout, who went to a decision, another southpaw. And Billy Joe Saunders is better than those guys. So I think it probably comes down to another split decision. Obviously, it's going to go Canelo's way because that's just the way the world works. Everything benefits that guy when it can, including the steroids. So, as long as Billy Joe Saunders fights his fight, I think he outboxes Canelo. There's not really value there just because of the judges. So we're just going to go to a 12-round decision. That's the 100-unit play. What did I say? 300 units on the other one. So it would have been 30 units on Lemieux that I lost. And then I would have lost 80 units on the second rematch with Triple G, which again, there was a draw in there. People thought it was close. But in this one, I really like this to go to decision either way. I'm
up in the air. I don't know who I think's going to win. I like both of them, to be honest. It's just tough.
Canelo's going to win, dude. It's just Saunders is just going to.
You need Saunders to last all 12 rounds.
Yeah, I just need the fight to go to decision. I mean, either way. I mean, I can't have Alvarez get knocked out. I mean, it's boxing, man. It happens. I mean, people get knocked out. I mean, dude, like I said, this thing could all go down the drain, and I'm comfortable with it. Of course, a clash of heads. I mean, the bet is we'll go to a 12-round decision. So if you go to a decision, I'll do that because I don't think you're going to get a clash of heads. I mean, Billy Joe Saunders doesn't fight like that. Canelo doesn't fight like that. I don't think you're going to get anything crazy. But crazy things happen. It's boxing. I mean, fights get stopped for stupid reasons all the time. Just shit happens, dude. It's just, believe me. I mean, it's benefited me and it's screwed. I can't remember who it was. I had this deal. My guy was getting the shit beat out of him and I was going to lose. And they end up freaking, I think, clashing heads. Commission missed it. They called the fight and gave the TKO to the guy that was getting his ass beat. And I cashed on a huge dog. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy, but it's just like shit happens, dude, in fighting. I mean, look at Chris Weidman. Someone, maybe Chris Weidman is going to win that fight. Maybe some other guy had that fight big time. Really loved the pick. He might have been right. Dude,
freak accident.
Shit happens, and it can happen here, but it's rare. It's rare that shit like that happens. So I am very confident in the pick. I know a lot of people are saying Canelo gets him out there in later rounds, but I just don't see how. I just don't think Canelo is going to break him down. I think Saunders is going to fight smart the first couple rounds, and if it does get hairy, I think even worst case scenario, I think Saunders finds a way to survive. I think he's just a smart boxer. He's got a good IQ. As long as he doesn't get ahead of himself, I know. And I think there's a lot of value here too, because people hate Saunders, even people from England. You know, the fact that he's a gypsy, he talks a lot of shit. People hate that. So people hate him. It's going to drive the number down. People love Canelo. People seen the Canelo knockouts. I just think we're getting a very, very good value, very good number. This is probably, you know, I hate to use terms like these, play of the year, but you know, I don't see anything else coming up that's going to be any bigger than this, especially if they're not going to make that Joshua versus Fury fight. You know, UFC is obviously going to make fights down the road, and we could find something big there. I mean, all the promotions in MMA, you know, but as far as boxing coming up, I guess they could make something for the end of the year. But my point is, especially Wilder, I'd like to see Wilder come back. You're going to get value there. The point is, I really like this, and I think it'll be good. You know, sure. I think it'll be a nice cash.
I like Canelo's head movement. That guy doesn't get hit.
No, he doesn't get hit. He's I mean, he got tagged by Triple G. He's got a hell of a chin. That's kind of the thing I worry about. You know, I know Billy Joe Saunders is complaining about the ring being small. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think that's the reason people were taking Canelo by knockout, because I think Saunders is just, I know this is a hell of a fucking speculation, but driving gambling numbers here, betting numbers, but you know, obviously you're going to get money on the TKO because the number went down. I mean, I got it at minus 120. You can get it even price now, especially here at stations. I just, I mean, he beat the hell out of David Lemieux, so he's got good enough hands to hurt you. And I just think Canelo's been outboxed before, and I think, you know, Mayweather's a perfect example, but even against southpaws, like I said, Laura's a good example. Trout's a good example of guys who, you know, and you have Callum Smith who survived. I think those are big things. I think Kovalev just kind of, you know, when I don't think Billy Joe Saunders is going to gas like Kovalev. You know, they're giving him these bigger guys that, you know, these light heavyweights that are on the downfall. So it's making Canelo look like he's this big knockout guy, and he's not. And I think Billy Joe Saunders is a nice middleweight. So I just really love this pick. I mean,
has Saunders fought anyone like close to Canelo's caliber in his career?
No, his best fight's David Lemieux, and that's what I'm saying. You look at the film, and David Lemieux, I believe, fights down to his competition, and then he had the big step up against David Lemieux, and he beat him very, very handedly. So I know a lot's riding on that, but just in general, if you see him when he's got to turn it on, he turns it on. He's just a very, 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 very skilled boxer. And I'll always take you know, we had the Edwards as an underdog against that guy I couldn't pronounce the name from Africa a couple weeks ago, you know, right after the draft, Thursday or Friday morning. I can't remember, over in England. And it's boxing. You know, it's boxing. Ask Deontay Wilder. It's boxing. Boxing wins fights. And I just think he is the better boxer. The thing is, will Canelo's Mexican meat is steroids? No, I'm just kidding. I mean, he's got power, regardless of the steroids. But
whose meat is better, gypsy or Mexican?
Gypsy is the Mexican beef. I think it's funny. Canelo says, "I don't eat beef anymore." Like it's just unbelievable, dude. How fucking just he got away with cheating completely.
Yeah.
No punishment, nothing. But, and I think he's still on steroids. I think a lot of guys are on steroids in every sport. But, you know, you've definitely seen his power increase, and he's being more active, and he's looking more dangerous. But I just don't see it. I just don't see Canelo's power being enough. I think if he catches Saunders early, we could be in trouble, which could happen. I just don't see it, though. I see Saunders is too smart. He's too quick. I think the southpaw doesn't help Canelo get inside, get to the body. Because, I mean, Jesus. I mean, Canelo, you saw it versus Council. He rips the body. I mean, he just rips the body, man. He rips the fucking body. And I think Saunders will just be able to take the heat, you know, and that'll be that's the big question. Saunders stepping up in competition. It is a big step up. He never has fought anybody like this. So, you know, we're going to find out, obviously. I mean, that's why this is basically a pick 'em, but I see the value. I mean, this should have been probably 170 to go to a decision, in my opinion. And I think it's getting bet down. I mean, you're getting plus money now, which I think is great for us. So I just think it goes the distance either way, even if Canelo could outbox him. But that's the thing. I think Canelo knows he will lose if he just tries to come at Saunders. Saunders is just going to tee him up coming in. So it's just going to be a chess match. It's going to be boring. I think, you know, it's on DAZN for a reason. It's not a paper. I guess it doesn't really matter whether they make a pay-per-view or not. I'm sure DAZN, I think they still have a contract with Canelo. So they're going to push this out here. And it's Eddie Hearn's guy in Saunders. So I just think that it's going to be a snoozer. You're going to hear a lot of Mexican boos in the crowd because Billy Joe Saunders, especially if he starts outboxing Canelo, will go back and watch a David Lemieux fight, dude. The dude will taunt you. So I don't think he's going to get that comfortable in there because, you know, Canelo is definitely a much better boxer than David Lemieux, but it could get. I just hope it doesn't backfire. I don't get Anderson Silva here. Speaking of Chris Weidman, but not that fight, obviously. I just think Billy Joe Saunders, like I said, I think he goes down plays down the competition. You know, he beat Lemieux and then he knew he was going to win. So he started time. He just talks a lot of shit, but he's not stupid. I just don't think he's that dumb. I think he knows what, you know, I know he knows that the world is against him here. And so we're going to back that guy, you know, it's not a terrible comparison, the Jake Paul one, but it's just, you're getting value in the fact that people are underestimating these guys based on just hearsay, news, the way they are. I mean, look at Mayweather, dude. I mean, Mayweather, McGregor, I will always go back to this example. You are an idiot if you took McGregor. It just made no sense. You're talking about one of the greatest boxers of all time. You know, all the controversy, we all want to see Mayweather get knocked out, but am I going to stop that from me making money? No.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, Jesus, I think we're just getting a lot of value here, and I really like this play. I'm excited. I'm so excited. But come fight time, dog, I'm going to be nervous as hell.
To be honest, I wouldn't mind a chess match because I'm contrary to popular belief, I enjoy watching like a quote unquote chess match. Like if you watch like baseball chess match, I love watching those. Or you look at a fighting chess match, love those because you can actually see the IQ of each person of how long they've been playing and how long they've been doing it, where that IQ takes over and they're like, all right, I got to do this if I want this to happen. So I'm going to, lead him this way and hopefully he bites. So I enjoy like long fights. Everyone loves a knockout. I love knockouts too, but it's enjoying the long you get to see how each fighter thinks and how they react to certain things.
Yeah, it's the same people that say Mayweather dances around the ring are the same people that say boxing is boring and the same people that are just playing for stupid. Like they're just dumb. Because you literally have to slow down the film on Mayweather to see what he does. And what you're saying is chess, but what you're really saying is you like boxing. I mean, that's what it is. And you have two high level boxers. And the question is Saunders ready for the big show? Because Canelo is no joke. I mean, again, you got to watch that. I mean, that body shot, that's how it's going to, I don't think Canelo is going to touch his head that much. But the body, Saunders is going to have to move. I mean, that's all there is to it. He's going to have to stick and move. And I just think he's so good at it that hopefully we see it, for obviously our play's sake, that we see some really good boxing out of him and we can expose Canelo's weaknesses, because I think Canelo can get flat-footed. You saw it against Triple G, you saw it against Kovalev. I'm kind of breaking the joke down, but when once you start taking too many steroids, walk around with his muscle, you can slow down. Yeah. I just know I just know he's on steroids, dog. It just pisses me off because that's where his power is coming from.
He was really lean and muscular. And that's kind of
he looked good at the weigh-ins. But I mean, he wasn't this guy a couple years ago. Then he gets knocked for this Mexican beef, and all of a sudden he's knocking out light heavyweights. How ironic! And then he just quits eating meat. Who the fuck just quits eating meat, Doug? I might even be invested in some Beyond Meat. I might eat some vegan food, you know, but you don't just stop eating meat, Doug. Pause. Yeah. Like, it's just, I just think it's just so funny to hear them backtrack it all and try to deny it. And then there's no, you know, just because of who he is and his caliber that he just gets away with it. It's just, you know, it's boxing. What do you expect? So I just hope it doesn't hurt us here. You know, it definitely won't be an excuse. It's obviously something you have to take into consideration. Either way, the dude's got a fucking left to the body that'll knock anybody down. Mm-hmm. And I just don't think he's going to get enough on Saunders. It would, you know, it's there. That's why it's a pick 'em, but I don't see it.
And that fight's at around 8:00 our
they
time?
Should be. The card starts earlier. I have no boxing plays besides that one, but I will be releasing probably that whole card. That starts at 5, I believe, but they will walk out. They're scheduled to walk 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, but expect that to probably be a little later. Usually it's a little later. They just try to get you to tune in to the co-main event. Just, you know, they just want you there early so you're there. You don't miss it. So it'll probably be more like 9 or, you know, probably 8:30 Pacific time, 9 Pacific time, 12 midnight. Gotcha. If you're on the East Coast. The only time we get a benefit out here is boxing. Yeah. You know, lucky bastards get to we don't have to wake up at 10 a.m. to watch football.
Yeah, that's true.
On a Sunday. Miserable.
Fun stuff.
But I'm excited, man. I think, like I said, I'll have more boxing. Obviously, the full UFC card coming out. You already heard our best UFC picks. It's gonna be fun, and I'm glad. I want to get this in here. I'm glad that the UFC put Michelle Waterson and Rodriguez on the main event. It was getting a lot of heat earlier. I think a lot of these internet trolls and internet writers forgot it is Mother's Day weekend. Very Shout true. Out to all grandmas, all the women out there, regardless if they have children. They keep us in line. They hold us down. We love you.
We would be nowhere without women.
Yes, exactly. So I like.
So people are. So what you're saying is people are having issues with the two women being the main card and not Cowboy.
Again, this is on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, I heard a couple guys, respectable guys that obviously I listened to, and this is how I found this out. That, you know, that were saying that there's just a better main event. I mean, you already had Dillashaw and Sandhagen fall out, and then what was the other fight? I think Cerrone and Diego Sanchez. That's the story within itself.
R.I.P. Diego.
I don't even. We don't have time. We'll get into that another time. I don't even want to get into it all. But they I just think, you know, it's a good fucking card, man. I mean, people criticize this card, you know, a lot of the people I listen to and respect, you know, because that fight fell out. This card's dead. This is a good fucking card. And you've got a lot of guys that need to prove themselves. You could see a lot of finishes in this card. And it's a fucking good card, man. Philip Haas, the guy. There's the first couple fights we named. Park, Tafon, you got Angela Hill, Ribas. I mean, these are all great fights. Diego Ferrer. Who else is on there? You got Cowboy and Alex Moreno's no joke. You know, the Rodriguez just knocked out Ribas. So it's a good card regardless. You know, I don't want to give Dana White too much credit here because I feel like he's just kind of, I mean, this obviously wasn't his original plan. But I think they're gonna, you know, Michelle Waterson, a new mom, sorta. I mean, she was a new mom, I think, her last fight or maybe 2 fights ago. But the point is, you know, to get a mom on there, the main event, I'm sure they'll milk that, which I think, you know, that's okay. I mean, I feel like if you're gonna do it, it's a good time to get it out there, and hopefully the UFC plays on it because there's, you know, I love to watch the women fight. I think it's great. You know, boxing, you got Claressa Shields moving to MMA. That's going to be fucking amazing. You had Kayla Harrison fighting on this last PFL card. She just fucking dominated that chick. Unbelievable, dude. So, Amanda Nunes, and shout out to the ladies breaking their way in, and I hope it works in boxing because Katie Taylor just fought. She had a war against I think I'm saying this. She's French, I believe. Jonas. I can't remember. She fought this last week. She's probably the second best pound for pound next to Clarissa Shields. So, women, go back 20 years ago, and who do you got? What's her name? Muhammad Ali's Layla Ali.
Yeah,
that's all. That's all you really knew mainstream wise, and now you had Ronda Rousey breaking ground, and you see, fighting is no longer just a man's, it's always had like a bad reputation, and it never really appealed to women. I think to get women in it, I think it's important to get everybody in it, and you get kids in it, and you learn about it. It's not just some brutal thing. Like, it's just, they have rules, and I think it helps protect the fighters, and I think it's just good to get women involved in the sport, and I think it's definitely helped grow the sport, both sports, boxing and MMA.
Completely agree.
Shout out to the ladies.
Always.
But
any other thing you want to recap on?
I think I've hit it all, man. I think we did. There wasn't too much trending, just unfortunate news. Nothing good going on in news, right? Nothing.
All right. Well, this has been a fun podcast as usual. Always enjoyed talking to you about sports, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. Hopefully it makes your day a little bit better watching a little couple knuckleheads talk about sports and what they think is going to happen. Right. Again, shout out Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. See you tomorrow.
Grandma.
Of all the women involved in this podcast, I got my girl out there with the 2 dogs, so mother fur baby. There's that. Gotta throw that in there. And we'll probably make sure to follow King of Don Picks, because he'll release the full UFC fight card probably in a couple hours or so.
Yes, sir.
And then probably live updates as well. He always throws in those live bets that you can cash in on. And we're probably going to be back sometime next week. We got to work out those details. And, we look forward to it. Again, appreciate all the support. And we'll see you guys next week on the What's Happening podcast.
Peace.
Take care.